Gamma has made landfall near Tulum, Mexico. Good Saturday evening. I'm Mike Nasa with the latest on the tropics. Our tropical depression last night strengthened into a tropical storm and almost a hurricane, Gamma, as it came ashore on the Yucatan Peninsula just south of the island of Cozumel near the town of Tulum, and it is now inland weakening, and you can see it interacting there with a frontal system over the southeastern areas of Florida. We have another system in here. This is an Invest. This is 92L, and 92 could be a problem down the road. We're going to watch it very carefully. And we also have these two little systems out here in the Atlantic, one near the Azores, and a big wave here in the central Atlantic we're going to watch very carefully. Let's start with Gamma. As of 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern from the National Hurricane Center, Tropical Storm Gamma was at 20.7 north, 87.7 west. That's inland over Mexico, the Yucatan Peninsula. Winds of 65. It did get up to 70, and the pressure dropped to 980 millibars. That is a hurricane pressure. It's moving northwest at 8, and you can see the forecast from the National Hurricane Center has it spitting back out over the Gulf by tomorrow, and then not moving a whole lot through Tuesday, kind of meandering here with very weak steering currents north of the Yucatan. Looks familiar because we saw it with Cristobal back in June, remember? And then it has it getting way down here in the Bay of Campeche. I'm going to be honest with you. If Gamma gets too far south in the Bay of Campeche, it's unlikely that it ever gets back to the north. It takes very strong trophiness digging down to pick up a storm that's way down here and drag it northeast. Now, it could happen, especially later in the year, like we are now, October, November. However, there is an equally good chance that Gamma will be somewhere within this cone inland or kind of just meander to the west or west-southwest into mainland Mexico. We really don't know at this point, and it does not look like it'll become a hurricane, even though I think it was a hurricane earlier. If you look at the satellite, watch it strengthen right there. Watch that little eye develop. You see the eye right in here? That is an eye that Gamma formed. Definitely a strengthening storm as it made landfall. If this thing had another day or two, it would have certainly been a hurricane, and probably a strong, dangerous hurricane. So be thankful. You can see this kind of wind shear here with this frontal system over Florida, which is starting to flatten out the northwest side of Gamma. Right now it's kind of protected, even though it's over land, it's still bubbling. The Yucatan is very low-lying, flat, and moist, and that's why Gamma is able to hold its own right now. Again, it should spit out, move west, and then drift this direction as some ridging digs into the north. Again, the computer models are all over the place. It could be a little bit further to the north. It could be more inland. Right now, the best bet from the Hurricane Center is up, left, down, left. Something like that. The key messages with Gamma, number one, heavy rainfall. Remember, it's not about the strength of a storm when it comes to rainfall. It's how fast it's moving. And 8 miles an hour or so ain't that fast. It's expected to produce heavy rainfall over southeast Mexico, the Yucatan, Central America, and far western Cuba. And this rainfall could result in life-threatening flash flood and mudslides, especially in Central America. They're very susceptible down there. If it rains for a day, you get treacherous conditions. Number two, even though it's moved inland, you'll still have those tropical storm conditions. Obviously, warnings out for the northeast Yucatan as the system spreads along the north coast, more tropical storm winds tonight and tomorrow. Now, this is somewhat in relation to Gamma. This is a picture from this afternoon, October 3rd, of Key Largo in the low-lying areas in the middle and upper Keys. Look at that flooding, a lot of sitting water, a lot of flooding, low-lying coastal flooding, and that's all because of the interaction you can see on this satellite image between this frontal system and Gamma down here, and the interaction between the two is creating just a lot of storminess over Florida. In fact, if we look at that Nissenbaum radar website, this guy Nissenbaum has great radars. You can see it's not too bad right now, but we did have a lot of heavy rain. You can see up to the north, more rain, Lake Okeechobee, and the middle of the state. It looks like southeast Florida, you guys have calmed down a little bit, but a pretty good storm over Key West. I'm trying to do my geography quiz here. You got Key West right over here. You've got Key Largo right in here, and then this is Key Biscayne with Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, and so on and so forth. But again, that rainfall is not directly associated with Gamma, but kind of indirectly. So, something to mention. You can see the satellite of the Atlantic. It looks a lot more active. We had that slowdown after Sally, but we have our 4 system with a tropical storm at the very least. We may be dealing with a tropical storm at the very least. We'll watch it very carefully. You could, the very least. We'll watch it very carefully. We'll watch it very carefully. You could see another system. You could see another system here off to the north. This one, see another system here off to the north. This one could do a little something. We've seen a lot of these. This one could do a little something. We've seen a lot of these weak, what I call name wasters this year. And this huge tropical wave in the central Atlantic. You want to watch to see if these things get into the Caribbean, because if they do, they could really go crazy. But the main focus right now is going to be on this system, 92L. You can see the computer model guidance wants to keep it generally on a west-northwest track, south of Jamaica, Cayman Islands, western Cuba, and then maybe an impact on the Gulf Coast. We don't know. It could be further to the east. It could be much further to the west. Right now, it's all a big question mark, but it is something we're going to watch very carefully. So that'll do it for this tropical update. Gamma, almost a hurricane when it hit Mexico and the Yucatan. Expected to meander near the Yucatan the next couple of days. Heavy rainfall, a serious threat. Where it goes from there, whether it stays inland or ends up back to the north, we just don't know yet. 92L, this could be a feature down the road for the Western Caribbean and perhaps the United States. And then 2 other features we're watching, and even a wave leaving Africa is starting to get laid out there for African waves. But if they could make their way across into the Caribbean, we would have to deal with them. I'm Mike Naso, and I'll talk to you guys next time.